And so you can see how here I created one that has floor plan. So let's say you are having a meeting and you have different proposal options. You can kind of have these kind of almost like nice presentation. We can kind of go through options here. Hey guys, welcome to another video. So today I'm excited because we're going to see Claude Design. And I know that a lot of people have been talking about this new tool. So I'm just going to go straight to the point. So this is a new feature that Claude included here on their web app. So if you go to Claude.ai, this is the just regular interface you will see. Here on the left side here, you'll have some, when you click on it, you should be able to access Claude Design here. So this is pretty much a tool that Anthropic created mainly for designers, right? So this is specifically useful if you are doing slide decks, templates, a lot of UX, UI sort of workflows, web design. And I don't know if you're familiar, but if you're familiar with tools like GenSpark or something like that, that they are normally AIs that create slides or things like that, that's pretty much what it's competing against. I use GenSpark for creating slides and other content. I know Gamma is another one, but this one here specifically that Claude is creating, I'm going to walk you through a little bit on the UI on this. So you're going to have something called prototype here on the left side, slide deck, from templates and others. So think about it like he's very good at creating visuals. So I have created a few here that I'm going to show you guys. But first of all, you have prototype, you have slide deck, from templates, others. Then on this side, you have your designs. So this is something that you've created. You have examples here, which are great because these are great for you to start kind of looking at what other people have done. And you can copy the prompt here. It reminds me a little bit of Midjourney when you see the images that you can copy their prompt or at least use them as a reference. So I think that's pretty useful. What else? So once you have that, you also have design systems. And this, I think, is the most powerful tool that Claude Design has because design systems is pretty much creating your own branding, but this is more focused on visuals. So, okay. So now that you understand a little bit on the UI of this, of what you have here and on the right side. Now we're going to go a little bit on what do you actually can do here. So here in the prototype, you can go into wireframe or high fidelity. Again, if you have something very schematic that you just want to start getting ideas, you normally want to get into wireframe. You have something a little more fidelity, you can do that. And then you can, from here, you have design systems. So that's kind of think about it. If you are in the Claude chat, think about it like that's your sort of like skill. That's something that already has saved there for you. So whenever you want to use it, so if you want to use like a proposal or something, and you already have the fonts and the colors in place, think about that. So you already have your setup there. Otherwise, you can normally will just say no, and it will start from scratch. But if you already have a reference, you can reference to that. So what you can do is and you can kind of give it like a name here. So this is your first project. You can call it proposal test on, right? And you can call it create, and it will normally take you to here where you can start with that sketch, right? So here you can kind of give it your notes. You can kind of start sketching. So say like, hey, proposal, and then you can call like, you can write things down here. Say, I don't like it. So it's very UI oriented in a way, like it's very UX UI oriented here. Otherwise, you can just come here to the chat. You can add screenshots. You can tell like, I want a template proposal for my company. Yeah. So use your best criteria. So normally what you want to do here, of course, is you want to upload your files. You want to upload a proposal that you already have in mind with the logos, with things like that. And then is when it's going to start creating that. So here's where you're going to start getting through some questions. Okay. So here it is. So as you can see, it already gave me like a cover about us, the opportunity, right, for my firm, the scope of work, timeline, investment, right? Next steps, which all this is pretty useful. Now, just to note, I already set up my design, my design systems, which already has the colors of my branding, already has my fonts. Is this perfect? No, but something that is very useful is that they have like something called tweaks. So tweaks you can turn on and off. And the great thing about tweaks is that it allows you to modify things. So if I come here and change that, you see how it changes the color? That's very cool. You can kind of go through like pure white here. So it allows you to do like, for instance, it allows you to change the font, right? You can print it to PDF. And I mean, for the amount of time, like they only create this like right now. So this is pretty useful. So this is like, again, is this like a one-page proposal? I was pretty open to just give me a proposal, so maybe this is not quite it. But you can tell like it has very good potential. Now I'm gonna give you now a good case study for architecture here. So if we go back again to this, it will start saving these ones here. Now I'm gonna give you one that I created here, and I think this one here is very useful. And so you can see how here I created one that has floor plan. So let's say you are having a meeting and you have different proposal options. You can kind of have these kind of almost like nice presentation. We can kind of go through options here. So you have option one, right? And you can even have it like a card. Option two, you see how it changes the materials. And option three, right? So if you have in a presentation and you want to kind of maybe have something a little bit more dynamic, this is something you can present. You can also, add effects to it, right? So you can tell it to be blue, but that's the potential of it. So this is a case study. You can do these with elevations. You can do this with sections. You can discuss options here. So that's something you can do that I found is useful. Another thing you can do, and you see how it actually keeps your, like if you have like a logo, if you have a company's name right here. So if you are watching the video and you're actually interested on knowing how to create something like this where you can show material options or design layouts to your client through Claude, Design, make sure like this a prompt you can use to copy, just copy this, and then you can kind of make it your own use case on whether or not you want to show materials and everything. Just make sure so you can see how I actually imported the images here. So these were not created by Claude Design. I created these ones in a different LLM. But the idea is that once you have the options in place, this is, let's call it a tool that can help you do presentations too, right? So, okay, with that being said, let's go to another use case that you can utilize this for. And another one is what it's called design systems. And I think this is one of the most powerful tools because this one here is what's going to give the AI that context on your brand, on your logos, on your colors, on your fonts. So you can see that I already created one here. So I'm going to open that one. So it already has missing some typography, but here you can see how it already has kind of already the look that I want to have. Right. So how do you create one of these ones? So when you're going back to the main site, here you will go to design systems. And design systems, you just go ahead and create one here. And it will ask you a lot of questions here. So now we're creating one. I'm just going to call it DLO Studio, Creative Narrative Design for High-End Residential, right? And I'm just going to put a logo in there that I want to use. And again, I will recommend you, the better results you're going to get, the more information you put. So I will say the first step is really to compile all your information. And then really you're going to be able to kind of understand what's your mission, who's your client, what's your logo. And then I'm going to just click continue to next generation. So it will normally take 5 minutes. So I'm going to generate. And now we're going to give it 5 minutes and you're going to see how it starts generating here on the left side here. Great. So that took 5 minutes. So once you kind of go through that, it will start asking you questions. And then mainly it's going to be questions, kind of like think about it like you're working with a graphic designer or interior designer, and it's going to start like making sure that it's getting your brand or the template, whatever it is that you're doing, like it's proposals, templates, slide decks, whatever it is. It's going to start asking questions on the colors of your brand. If that seems like the color that you want to go with, let's say I say it looks good, looks fine. Then say, okay, that's fine here too. So let's say, you can even say needs work, and then you can kind of give it like a thing saying like, hey, I want a different headline H2, more like bolder, let's call it, right? And then you can submit. So think about it. Let's start asking you these questions. You can kind of say it looks good, it doesn't look good. And if it doesn't look good, then you can kind of give it some feedback. And from there, it's going to start analyzing, is going to start saying like, hey, okay, so what is that you want, right? So that's the great thing. I understand. Like it's kind of like going and walking with like a designer that is going to helping you with that. So let's say here it looks fine. Let's say it looks fine here. Type scale, like it looks fine. Again, ideally, this is going to take you another 20 minutes, right? Say dark gray instead of black, right? Let's see if it does something. This looks fine. Yeah, I like that. You see how it did the dark gray. Great. Let's say good. I like that. Okay, so once it's done, it will have like all these things here that you can go in and go back again and revise anything. So you can kind of give it one more time before it actually gets published. So once you're done, you can kind of, here, if you think, okay, it's gonna miss it, it's fine. For now, I'm gonna keep it like that. I'm gonna keep it as published. And then you can start testing it, right? So you can tell it, so let's go back again here. So now that it's published, we can go back again to the Claude Design Studio. And let's say a slide deck, right? So now you can go here and keep this. And it's like, uh, give me 3 slides that talk about what Claude Design is and how it can help architects in their daily workflow. And then you can set up that design system. So remember, that one there was black, white, and gold, right? And then I'm going to create that. It's going to probably take a few more minutes now. Great. So this is what it got. Right. So let's see. So it has Dilo Creative Studio, introducing Claude Design, an AI design partner built for architects, turning briefs into deliverables and ideas into precisions, outputs, and every stage of the project lifecycle. So you can tell like how you see. I hope you understand what is this design system. So it actually brings the brand in it. You see how this is actually pretty cool. I actually really enjoy these colors. So now that you understand the brand and you understand why design systems work, now I'm going to give you a little bit on the realities on this tool. So this was another one I created here. This was another project that I created. So this was a banner for one of the communities that I'm building. So something that I noticed is that you can comment here. Like if you're working with your team, you can add a comment here saying like, this is too bright, change format, right? And center fonts, right? And you can put it there and you will have a comment in here. So if you have somebody working in there, it will give you that. Now, the other thing you have is edit. So what edit would do, think about it like it's editing, right? Like it's pretty much what it says. Like, so you click on something, it will give you ways that you can edit. You can edit colors. So once you click on something, it will give you like the setup of things you can change. Something that I noticed is not that it's that smart. So it does, it has a lot of limitations when it comes to editing. So if you're going to do some basic editing, it's fine. But for a more advanced editing, I think it's still not quite there with other tools like Gamma or GenSpark or just these AI tools that have been already there for a while doing these slide edits. So it's not quite there yet, but it's not bad. You can still edit the words and and things like that. So you have a comment or something, you can draw on it. I don't know how difficult it will be to redo it, right? So you can do that. You can change that. You can also get the tweaks as I was mentioning before. So in tweaks, you can kind of change the hue or thing. Oh, wait, it's still in drawing here. Let's disregard that. So here you can change the hue to the two different colors. And again, sometimes it's smart, sometimes it's not that smart. Something to just notice a little bit. But yeah, that's what it does. Now you understand what are the main things with Claude Design, and it's going to start getting better. So in my opinion, for the first try, for the first output from Claude Design, I think they're heading in the right direction. It's not perfect. It's still a little limited, but I think it's a good first bat. And I hope that in the first next months or so, new tools are added. And I think we should have more use cases for architecture that I'll be showing you guys around. But I hope you guys like the use cases, and I'll see you in the next one.